You ever feel like your thoughts and feelings just take control all the time? Like you could have a great day, having a great time, and out of nowhere, someone does something or something happens, and now your thoughts take over. Completely change the way you feel, completely change your mood, completely change everything that you were actually happy about. Well, today we're going to talk about mindfulness and why it's important to pull this in. Now, before you log off or scroll off, listen to me. Mindfulness, I'm not talking about mindfulness where like there's a lady in yoga shorts the entire time with half naked shirt. I don't even know what half naked shirt is, by the way, with her hair back, sitting behind trees and a river and a chime and a symbol and the bowl that does that. No, I'm not talking that type of mindfulness. I'm talking about having tools, skills, actual skills that you can use to feel better. And for me, I use it all the time. Like a lot of times I forget to use them and I forget I have these tools. I always think of it like having a backpack, right? I'm having a backpack and like I have to go on a journey, right? I'm going to need water. I'm going to need towels. I'm going to need Band-Aids, first aid kit. I'm going to need something, right, for this hike. If I don't have that stuff and I don't use it, it's going to kind of might be okay, but at the same time, it might not. It might be a terrible hike because I didn't have the tools that I needed to survive out in the woods or in the mountains or in the grass. So think of that. That's the way I think of mindfulness, like having the tool that I need. Join me in the Mental Mobility Podcast, episode number 144. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Let's do this. So first part we're going to do is we're going to go to the old trusty phone and we're going to look at memes. I don't think I did this last week because I was so into the podcast. I forgot to do this part. So I want to make sure there's a couple that I had in here that kind of makes sense to me. So this one is one. This one says men need at least 2 guys' nights a week. Is that a tongue twister? Guys' nights a week in order to stay healthy. Men need at least 2 guys' nights a week. And it's a picture of guys clanking beers, clanking them. Now, I agree and disagree with this one. I do appreciate the gesture, and of course, it's an attention grabber, right there. But I feel like there could be more added to this one, right? Like things that you can do together. And honestly, I think they're just saying you need to communicate, right? Sit there, no filter, talk shit, talk about whatever it is, and just making sure you hang out with friends or people that you can expose yourself to, people you can talk to, right? Over beers. Hey, if you're over beers, that's perfectly fine. But it looks like they're having a good time. It just kind of says you have to go party 2 times a week. To me, that's what I thought of it as. Where I was like, I really don't want to drink beer because I'll get flare ups. But at the same time, I can have whiskey, but when I have whiskey, I don't want to talk to you while doing it. Does that make sense? I'd rather have it by myself and just chill out. So I would rather do things that involve other people. So doing 2 things that involve other people outside of your family, people that you can trust. Now, that can be going on a hike. That can be rolling with someone, meaning doing jujitsu. That means doing karate, taking a class, working out with someone, doing something active. There's other things rather than just drinking or smoking or whatever it's going to be in order to have this communicative powwow with your friends, right? So I believe it's important. I believe at least 2. You can have more, and that's great, honestly, because this actually falls into this little meme falls into mindfulness as well. And we'll get to that later on, definitely, because it's one of the things that I do and I believe is super important for me to have in order to have my mental health on a straight and narrow, kind of a straight and narrow, maybe with a little bit of a curve. So that's what I thought about that one. You guys have any memes that you catch? DM me. Let's talk about it because a lot of them are really good, and a lot of them are just like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Well, I actually put this one up on our community page. So if you guys don't follow on YouTube, YouTube also has a community page now. So you'll probably see it more in your feed. You'll see a lot more posts. You'll see a lot more blog posts and polls. And now I'm very active this week on it, and I'm going to continue to be more active on it and give you more written tips, things where I would usually put on a website, but I'm not going to put on a website anymore. I'm just going to why go to a different place when it's right here? And I'm just going to deliver you whatever it is I'm reading, whatever it is I'm getting into, whatever it is I'm writing or ranting about. I'm going to put on the community posts as well as little polls so I know like what you guys are interested in or what are you all doing or anything. I always feel like you can reach out. I always feel like you communicate with us because that's why we're here. All right. So don't be afraid. You can always reach out. Next one says burnout looks like. There's one of those things where it has like 17 different things. I'm not going to read all of them because I'm a terrible reader. It's only 6. I could do it. Burnout can look like little to no motivation, insomnia, emotionally overwhelmed, amplified anxiety, exhaustion, and easily triggered. So when I'm in my mode, and like this week we did 6 podcasts, this will be 7, right? It's getting tough. And I start to feel great about myself, but then I really don't feel good about myself because I can feel myself starting to burn out. Right? I'm starting to not be motivated to make a short, or not be motivated to put a community post up, or not be motivated to even work out, right? Or do things. So that's when you have to kind of put a halt into things, and not knowing or knowing these things. Uncle Jay's calling right now. Look, Uncle Jay's calling. Uncle Jay, MJ Capital. Sorry, Jay. And a lot of these things, you don't recognize them. You may think of them as, I'm hustling, I'm grinding, I'm hustling, I'm grinding, I'm doing it, I've got no sleep. This is what I was taught. No sleep, no rest, keep working. False. You're gonna burn out. You're gonna fucking burn out. Like at some point, you're going to burn out. Why do you think New Year's resolutions do not work? They don't fucking work because everyone's going to go to the gym for 2 days for 7 weeks straight. Oh, actually, probably 3, not even 7. And then by the 7th week, they quit, right? Because they're so tired, so burnt out, because they can't hold on to the speed that they were doing this thing with, right? That they committed to. And now they feel bad about themselves. They're going to start judging themselves. And again, it's another skill that we're going to talk about today, is in this DBT skill, mindfulness, right? It's going to be important for you to listen to the rest of this, because this is where a lot of the little things that we don't even recognize, but we also take for granted day to day, on how much of a shitty person we are to ourselves. Like a shitty person we are to ourselves. We are not nice to ourselves. We are our worst enemy. We hate us more than other people hate us. And I want to say that because if you're watching this, you most likely feel the same. I would rather do something super nice to someone else than to buy myself a fucking pancake. I don't even eat pancakes, but I'm just saying. Like I would spend $200 on someone doing something ridiculous than buying $100 steak. Imagine getting $100 steak at dinner for you. You don't deserve that. You know what you deserve? Whatever the special is from last week plus 50% off. That's what you deserve, right? That's how I feel. I would easily I easily hand off money to people 100%. I'll send people random gifts. I don't put it on Instagram like, hey, check me out. Watch me give this homeless guy $100. Whoa, hey, watch this. I'm gonna make this person feel good, but at the same time, I'm gonna film it. Fuck you. Fuck you, and just give it to the fucking person and shut the fuck up about it. Jesus Christ. You guys feed into that stuff all the time. I give, but no one knows. I don't gotta post it up on Instagram. I don't gotta put it on fucking TikTok. I don't got to put it anywhere. I give. And internally, I know that's what I'm doing. But I don't give to myself, right? I give. I order chicken instead of steak. You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to get? The 60. This actually just happened this weekend. It was last Saturday. It's like, do you want the steak? Yeah, I do want steak. $69 for the steak. I'll just have an appetizer. I'll have a Caesar salad. That's what I did, right? That's literally the extent of trying to not allow myself to have a good time. But my wife, go ahead, get what you want, get what you want. No, get that. Oh, me, $26 Caesar salad. That sounds about right. that sounds like that's how we're gonna go here. And it's just very interesting on how we treat ourselves versus other people. It's interesting. So I don't know where that came from. We were talking about burnout, and that shit came out. But this is the last one I want to talk about today, the last meme. This one's from Robin Williams, right? And I believe this one is very important to kind of understand. And it's Robin Williams once said, if you guys don't know who Robin Williams is, go fuck yourself, by the way. He's a great stand-up comic back in the 70s and 80s, and then became a wonderful actor. You've seen it in movies like Good Will Hunting, Patch Adams, and I don't know why I sound like IMDb right now, but that's him. Robin Williams once said, "I think the saddest people always try their hardest to make people laugh because they know what it's like to feel absolutely worthless, and they don't want anyone to feel like that." I'll say it again. I think the saddest people always try their hardest to make people laugh and happy because they know what it's like to feel absolutely worthless. And they don't want anyone to feel like that. Truest statement. We just were talking about that. And I didn't even I forgot actually what this one was about until I read it. And then, but that's 100% true that we would give to others and make people happy and make them smile and make them feel great because we don't feel like we deserve it. And we know what it's like to feel empty and feel not loved and to feel hated by ourselves. So we want other people to never experience that in our life. That's why like people take care of their kids, right? You give your kids everything. It's like, oh, you're spoiled. They're spoiled. Yeah, they might be spoiled. It's because you had an upbringing where you didn't get stuff. So now you're filling that void to give them the better life. I get it. I get it. And there's balance there, right? There's balance in that situation. But at the same time, like it's true that the most people that hurt are the ones that are quick to give because we know what it's like to feel empty. So if you feel that way, don't feel alone. If you feel like anyone else that you know feels that way, give them a talk. Maybe go on a guys day powwow where you guys go out and do whatever and just talk shit. Again, it doesn't always have to involve alcohol, although sometimes it does because that's what people do. But then are you really having a good time? Or are you going to be like hungover tomorrow, regretting it? You know what I mean? Like, listen, I'm not against alcohol at all, right? I drink. I'll have a drink, whatever. But I also don't advocate trying to use alcohol to have a good time. If you're gonna socially have a drink and just sit there, you're having one, talking about it, talking, making some for each other, whatever. I don't know if you guys are baristas. That's not a barista, a mixologist or a bartender, a barista. Barista makes coffee here. I don't want to say they make coffee because they probably get offended because they're a barista, right? And bartender gets upset when they call them bartender. They're called mixologist. You tell me who's I'm. I'm a man with a penis. That's pretty much it. Or I can also be a girl with a penis. So you tell me what that has anything to do with anything right now. But I'm going to list off some things that is very important about understanding the mindfulness skills. Okay, write it down. I typed it out because I can't remember this stuff, and then I can't read my handwriting, so I'm better off typing it. Which I really have a lot of typos too. So number one, it helps you pay better attention. Two, it's handling feelings better. Right, really understanding and handling your feelings. It really, really helps. Feeling less stress, getting along better with others, not reacting so quickly. This is the one that I use it for the most is because I react fast. I'm very reactive. I'm very quickly triggered on things that just bother me or things that just don't feel right. Dealing with tough times, bouncing back, and enjoying life more. So these are a lot of the benefits of the mindfulness skill. Of the mindfulness skill, right? I can't talk today. Um, let's get to it. So there's different types here. I think it's three categories. One, two, three. Yeah, it's three categories of mindfulness. A lot of people think it's like I said, they think it's just meditating or sitting in the quiet and having the wind chimes behind you and a Tibetan lady playing that bowl looks like you squash garlic into. The thing you squash and make avocados. Well, they got bowls that make sounds that sound like the same thing. Great tool, amazing stuff. Doesn't fucking matter if you're not in the moment with it. So you got to use it. And when you have the tool, you got to use the tool. We can't just have the bowl and make avocado when it's used to make you feel mindful. Just saying, right? And that's noise therapy or sound therapy. And I'm not knocking it. I'm just randomly ranting or just randomly riffing of what's coming to the top of my head because I do like that sound actually, especially when I lay down and like take class and at the end like I'll lay down on the ground, I'll meditate, and then they'll sounds like a ghost trying to haunt you. All right, DBT. So we have the number one. I'll go through them first. You have wise mind, you have what skills, and you have how skills, right? How skills. Perfect. Ooh, man, I'm so good. So wise mind is, I would say, the toughest, but the most resourceful. All right. So I'll read to you. Um, where are we? All right. So wise mind, like I did in the short, it's like two different people, right? One part's your emotional mind, and the other part is your reasonable mind. It thinks of all the logical thoughts. So emotional mind is obviously all your feelings, and reasonable mind is all that's true, right? All that's true, all your logical thoughts. So wise mind is when these two work perfectly together to help you make the best decision you're thinking and feeling at the same time. It's like finding the best path to forcing both of your heart and your brain. So a lot of times we're going to get into, I can't believe he did this. I can't believe they did that. I can't believe this is what happened. So you're upset because like a friend canceled your plans. And then the last minute, your emotional mind wants to send a mean text because you're angry, because you're shitty, because you're pissed. But your reasonable mind knows that wouldn't be helpful at all, right? So by using your wise mind, you decide to express your feelings calmly and then ask to talk about how you can make plans more reliable in the future. You understand what that says? Because most people get mad when you don't do something and then they just like cut you off. Like, fuck that guy. I ain't doing it no more. I can't believe it. But then you really don't know what's happening to that person. So we just create these scenarios which ramp us up and then take us in. A lot of people do that with me when I don't answer text messages or like emails fast because I'm really bad at it. Like I'm really fucking bad at it. And I'm trying to change, but I'm not really actually. But it takes me a while. And I can get it because people sometimes ghost me too. Is that a word? Ghost? They ghost me too. And like I'll start feeling a certain way. So I understand what it's like, but I can't get mad because I do the same thing, right? So who am I to get upset when I do the same thing? So it's like, all right, you're mad because they ghost you, but reasonable mind, you do the same thing. So shut the fuck up. Then that's it. Like that's it. Like, oh, okay. Duh. I do the same thing. They're probably busy. They probably have stuff to do. They probably forgot the text. Maybe they have 1,000 messages like me and just got lost in a draft. Sometimes I believe I actually texted them back, honestly. So a little bit of thought. So that's where I use wise mind a lot. I use it to when my emotions take way over my reasonable mind, and think of different situations with you. Like when is it a time where you felt something and you thought because you felt this way, but really thought about like, why is this really happening? What can happen here? And then put them together. Like, all right, but talk it out, write it out, combine this skill with the journaling skill, right? Like get in there and now figure out what it is so we can defuse the emotions at hand. I'm not going to say you're going to get rid of them, right? These are not made to get rid of them. They're to control and to manage emotions and feelings. That's number one. Number two are what skills. What skills have observe, describe, and participate? Pretty much a lot of looking, saying, and then what, right? That's why I say what skills. So observe. What is it? What is observe? Let's go here, get to the definition so I don't mess it up. I know what it is by experiences. I don't really know definitions. I wasn't really the greatest student. But honestly, that's why I have a desk here because I want to feel like I'm in school again. Because I feel like I'm so much better at this and I feel like I'm in school, but like taking a test and being in class, I was not good at. So I'm trying to reinvent that feeling. Okay. The what skills, what do a mindful observe. It's like being a ninja, noticing everything around you and inside without jumping into action. Seeing your thoughts or feelings and pass by like leaves a stream. Like when the Ninja Turtles are like in the sewers, but then they come out at night and they're just looking, seeing what's up. Or like Shinobi, he's on top of the roof, kind of scoping out the village. Right? They're not doing anything, they're just observing what's happening, where's the sound, what has changed, anything, kind of just monitoring. Got it? Describe is when you put words into what you're observing. So say you're feeling sad, right? Instead of you're observing yourself and you're like, oh, all right, what am I feeling now? Okay, that, okay, yeah. Well, I am pretty sad. I'm sad today. Nothing. I'm sad today. You just called the emotion, right? You said what was true, you said what was factual, and that's it. Notice what I didn't say was, oh, these motherfuckers feel like shit today. I can't believe I feel like this. Why do I feel like this? I can't believe I feel like this. Man, man up, man up. Why do I just man up? Why do you feel this way? How many judgments, how many reactions, how many different ways that I feel, make myself feel in that moment, right? Rather than just be like, I'm sad. I feel sad today. Boom. And then it's like, I don't know, something going down the stream, I guess, like, um, I don't know, getting a piece of paper. I'm sad. There it goes. Let it move away into the stream. Next emotion, move away into the stream. Cool. That's describe. Participate. This means jumping in and being fully part of what being. Oh my god. See? School desk. This means jumping in and being fully part of what you're doing. If you're playing a game, be all in, not thinking about yesterday's lunch or tomorrow's test. This is what I was talking about before, right? Why jujitsu and that activity or training is very crucial in my life. And having this time, I'm very, very fortunate to have my brother around now. I'm 100% very fortunate to have this guy around. He helps me with everything. Not only that, he calls me. He'll like come by and visit and sit and hang out with. Like these are, and then we'll just talk. I'm gonna cry. And we just talk, right? And we just talk shit, or we talk about what we're working on, or we talk about how it's going, and almost every day, And that's what I mean. I'm very fortunate to have that around. Where it's like other people are afraid to do that. Other people are afraid to talk about that, and that's where even just having a place to go to, like a jujitsu place or a wrestling club, or I don't know, you guys play. I don't know what else you used to do. That's all what I do, lift, work out. I don't play football, so I can, but I don't choose to. But that's another bonding moment for people. Activities, sports, things you do when you fucking play dodgeball. People play pickleball now. Pickleball is pretty cool. I play it too, right? It's fun. That's a nice way to get some energy out. And when you're done, you kind of talk. Whether you have a fucking someone has a flask on them, or you have some beers after, whatever. But having that moment or a guy's day, guys connections is the best there, right? So participate, getting into it, seeing what's happening, and really participating in the moment that you're doing, not having to think about it. And like I said, I'm jumping all over the place, but jujitsu does that to me, right? I'm just there. Even wrestling, because if I think about anything else, I'm gonna get slammed. Like I don't want to do that. Like if I'm wrestling and I'm thinking about what my wife thinks about me, like I'm gonna get taken down, slammed on my head, right? If we're doing Greco, like I'm gonna get thrown really hard. If I'm doing any wrestling, if I do any wrestling, I'm gonna get slammed. And same thing with jiu-jitsu. It's like if I don't do it, I'm gonna end up getting choked out, punched, tapped out, whatever it is. So it's really a great way to be there. The number three is the house skills. This is the one I did a lot on the shorts, because these are the ones I work on the most. Right? The other ones are there. I know them. These are the ones I have to work out the most, because this is where I'm the most um, mean to myself. Right? I'm mean to me. So the how skills just tell us how to do the what skills. Right. So non-judgmentally, this is my guy. This means looking at things without deciding if they're good or bad. If you fall while you're skating, instead of saying, I'm so clumsy, you just notice and say, I fell down. Me. Example. So I'm going to go back to the what skill and then adding non judgmentally. Oh, fucking fat bastard. You're so fucking fat. Why do you feel so fat today? Why do I feel so fat today? Oh my God, it's because I ate that yesterday and I shouldn't have eaten that. Ate too late. Oh my God, you're so fat. You didn't exercise for 2 days. You had a beverage. Yeah, the beverage is an alcoholic drink. You drank a cocktail. Now your metabolism is slowing down. You're old fuck. Your fucking hip hurts. Describe. I feel fat today. that should just be it, right? Like that should be it. But now adding non-judgmentally, take it all out, right? I don't feel good. I don't have to be fat, right? I don't have to be gross or chubby or disgusting or a lethargic bastard. Like, just don't feel good today. Must have ate something weird. It could be that much easier, right? Then, but it's practice, right? These are skills. These are not answers. These are skills. You have to practice that because trust me, the other voice is way stronger than non-judgmentally voice. And I also do this with other people, right? When like yesterday was a perfect example. This guy was backing up his car. I was sitting there parking the car, and this guy or girl, I don't know if, oh no, it was actually a girl. And she was Asian, but I'm not saying nothing. She was going backwards, 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 like back into my car. I was like, yo, there's a camera on the back. Every car has a camera. Why are you getting so close to my car? I thought she was literally gonna hit my car. Either that or she wasn't looking. I don't know. So I just my head is like, fucking whore bag. What the fuck are you doing? Little piece of shit. What's going on here? What get to it? I didn't honk, nothing. I didn't react. But in my head, I was getting so mad. I was getting so mad. And so instead I go, I'm getting really mad right now. And then that was it. And then she moved up. I don't know. I don't know what the thing was. She didn't hit my car. Nothing happened. But the whole time I was like honk the horn, yell out of the window, fucking get out of the car. The things I pictured with a baseball bat, like smashing it through the window, hit him with a knuckle, that like the things that I build myself up to that are very small, especially in mania, is very important for me to do non-judgmentally skills, observe skills, these skills to chill out, dude. Like, chill out. You sound crazy right now. I mean, if you think about it, it sounds pretty crazy if I said this stuff out loud, don't you think? So that's non-judgmentally. Be easy to yourself, right? Say things that are true, not things that you believe, right? You're not fat. You might be out of shape. You might be big boned. That's always my favorite one. But at that moment, it's just there. It's like, fucking this. I'm so clumsy, right? That example they wrote, I'm so clumsy. It's like, no, you just fell. That's it. Here's a great one for me. This perfect one I was thinking about yesterday was this desk. I can't take tests. I'm such an idiot. I always fail every test I take. I'm an idiot. It's because I'm going back to that. I'm not an idiot. I just don't take tests well. That's it. I just don't take tests well. I'm not an idiot. Obviously, look at what I made. Look what I created. I'm not an idiot. I just don't take tests well. But it doesn't mean I'm going to fail every time. You're going to fail. You're going to be not going to pass. That's what's going to happen. And I might not. But the only fact there is that I don't take tests well. And that's it. And there's other things I can do to improve that. Right. And now that's another way. That's another skill. Improve the moment. But that's the moment. Anyway, next one is one mindfully. I talked about this in the last podcast, I believe, but I definitely talk about it in a short. It's doing one thing at a time. If you're eating, just eat. Don't watch TV or play on your phone at the same time. Enjoying every bite, eating your pizza without a distraction. Why did they choose pizza? I love pizza. So being there in the moment, like I said, I will always say, here's an example. Here's my coffee. You guys are no longer, we're not filming. You're not here. Swallowed, said, just a little bitter. That was refreshing. And just trying to stay, I'm going to lose myself. Trying to stay in that moment of me with the coffee. How's it smell? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it warm? Does it taste good? Is it dark? Is it light? Do you want more sugar with it? I have black coffee, I'm not sure. So things like that and being there, do it for a little bit of time and stay there, especially when you're eating, right? When you're eating, put your phone away. I see so many people like eating and they're like, watch, nom, just like scroll. Just eat the fucking food. Like eat it and be there. Let it go for a little bit. Start adding that to your day. It'll help kind of not only be mindful, but at the same time, it just clears stuff out because now you're there, right? You're enjoying it, appreciating it, and it's food. Like, fucking pay attention, you might choke. I'm saying. And now you have effectively, last one of the house skill, effectively. It's all about doing what works best. It's like choosing the right tool for the job. If you need to cut paper, use scissors, not the hammer. So effectively is how to use, it's what we pretty much brings everything together. It's how we do everything, right? I did this to observe the moment. I did this to non-judgmentally do it. Now what's the best way to tackle this situation, right? Here's an example. You have a lot of homework and you feel overwhelmed. Instead of procrastinating or complaining, you decide to make a to-do list and tackle one assignment by the time, one assignment one by one. That definitely didn't say what I was saying. You choosing your most effective way to handle the situation. I love lists. Whenever I get manic and I have 1,000 racing thoughts, I write down the thoughts. Or if I have a lot of things to do, if you look at my calendar, I have my calendar from pick up your kids, drop off your kids, do this because I need to remember. A lot of times I forget, especially with the medication I'm on. Lithium makes you forget a lot of stuff. Like gives you, they thought pot gives you short term memory. This should give you short term memory. I don't know what anyone else says. If anyone else has that problem with lithium, you let me know because I got forgetting problems. So that's why I write down a lot of this stuff. But not only that, it just clears the clutter, right? In your head, you have so much, and you keep letting those things float. It's going to make you nuts. And most of the time, you're going to forget, and then you're going to regret, and then you're going to hate yourself the whole time about not having that thing done or whatever. Take a second, write the stuff down on a piece of paper, and then tackle one task at a time. You don't have to finish. Here's where the craziness, right? Here's where the overachiever us gets into, right? The worker. You don't got to finish the list. You don't have to finish the list. Do the one, do the two, do the three, cross it off, cross it off. If the whole list ends up being done, perfect. But don't make that a stress point as well. We don't want that list to become a stressful action for you. We want to calm you down, clear your head so you can function, right? You can be effective. That's why it's effective. You can be effective in these situations and effective in life. So that's definitely the one that I would say works the most. Let me see what they wrote for non-judgmentally. You trip and fall. We did that one wonderfully. That's cool. It's like know what you're choosing, know the tool. If you're gonna hammer a nail, use a hammer. Don't do me. My friend once caught me. My friend is a handyman. He's an HVAC guy. I said handyman and HVAC guy. I think those are two different things. And I was at the gym and I had to I was putting frames of like people's pictures on the wall. And he walked in and he saw me hammering the nails with a spray paint can. And he was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" It's like, thank God he walked in. I was like, "What? I'm just hammering." He's hammering with a spray paint can? He's like, if that nail punctures the can, it's going to explode. I did not think about that. That was not an effective way to hammer a nail, right? An effective way to hammer a nail is use a fucking hammer, not a spray paint can. I did not even think about it. And I was dying laughing because imagine if this spray paint can exploded while I was putting up pictures of people that I'm proud of in the gym. Would have negated the entire thing, but at the same time would have been a great story, but maybe a pretty bad story as well. Two judgments on that one. So why is DBT important, right? Why? This is fast, guys. This is fast. I said it before, but paying better attention. Mindfulness helps us notice more about what we're thinking, feeling, and what's happening in our bodies right now. It's like being a detective of our own feelings. And you gotta stop reading. It helps us in the now. A lot of people don't know the difference between CBT and DBT. CBT was made for as cognitive dialectical behavior therapy, but DBT, dialectical, was made more, it didn't work for people, I want to say like us, right? If you're listening, maybe you can relate more. People with BPD, bipolar disorder, and or personality disorder, because a lot of the stuff with CBT is a lot more future stuff. Like this is what we're going to do and trying to find out what happened from the past and how we're going to do this into the future. And it wasn't working well with people that have BP stuff, right? Stuff, bipolar and personality disorder. They needed more of a system. And I forget the lady that made it or the guy that made it. I don't know, person. Um, something for the now, something that they can use now because they're fucking losing their mind right now and they needed it. They need to defuse. They need to control their emotions and anger and emotions and feelings more and thoughts. So that's why DBT was made. It was more for the moments, the moments and how we can tackle that in the future. So handling these things better, like our emotions, feelings, is one of the best benefits of DBT. Right, you're going to feel less stress. You're going to get along with others better. I like this one because being mindful means we listen, we pay attention better with other people. You can make friends and family feel more understood and then make relationships stronger. That's why I feel like it's important. But I said before, number 5 is the one I want to talk about. The benefit is not reacting so quickly. Mindfulness helps us take a pause before we react to something. This pause can help us think about the best way to handle a situation instead of just doing the first thing that pops into our head. It is the lady in the car. First thing that popped in my head was, I'm going to pop this person in the mouth and I'm going to ram my car into their car, honk the horn, and make a big fuss outside of the school. Right? That's what my brain took me to. Of course, I'm not going to do that. I'm not that type of person to do it. But it's like when you have those thoughts, right, and you want to react on those thoughts, but then holding them in and just like pushing fire in, at some point, that shit's going to burn. It's going to hurt. So learning to look at situations and taking a second, observe, talk it out. Now, how do we get that? Now, how do we get through this thing? We're very reactive. I'm a very reactive person, very reactive, but I'm learning to take a step back and be more, I don't want to say a proactive person, but a more, step back type person. I got no word for that. Step back. Step back. Is it safe to cross the street yet? You know what I mean? Like, just take a step back for a second. When you feel that anger and that frustration come in, like let your body and mind take a step back. All right, look, oh shit, it's traffic. What's going on here? I shouldn't cross the street right now. I can wait. I can wait a little bit because it's kind of busy. Let those thoughts and things and figure out what's actually true in these moments. And now effectively use the skill that's needed in order to do it. That's why really knowing, there's a lot, right? There's 1,000 skills that we can go. We went from before, we're still going to emotional regulation. You got what the shit's called, the whatever with tips on, I forgot, that, this, there's 1,000 things that you can use, not just one. That's why it's like, oh, what do you want? What you got? I got candy. I got a razor blade. I got a gun. Like, you want to be that guy. Guy used to sell stuff like out of his jacket. I always loved that guy. Like, hey, what's up? What do you want? That guy's my favorite. Quick story about that. When I was in 7th grade in middle school, after Halloween, I took candy and I got a jacket, literally blazer. And I took the blazer and I took all my candy and I taped them inside my jacket all the way across. And I made 4 lines of candy. So I went to school, came in, I had a blazer on, little fat bastard that I was. And all he goes, what do you want? If someone wanted a Kit Kat, I had a Kit Kat. There's a Kit Kat. What do you want? Take one. And like just to make people laugh. And I don't know why. I always loved that guy. And I did it. I remember 7th grade, I did that. So I don't know if anyone knows that story, but I definitely was the candy man when growing up. But again, as a review, really quick, but I do want to thank you guys for coming out to the Mental Mobility Podcast, episode 144. We are here on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Don't forget. And then some random lives. I will be having a scheduling shorts. So shorts will be coming out. Everything's going to be at 6 o'clock. So 6 o'clock Eastern, Pacific Standard Time now, not Eastern Standard Time. And be live on the community post. I will be on the community post a lot. Let's talk there. I don't really like talking too much on Instagram and Facebook about this stuff. I don't know. It's just me. I talk about it a little bit, but I like the community to be within YouTube. It just feels safer. You know what I mean? I feel like it's just a place where people actually give a shit. Instagram, no one fucking cares, man. No one cares. They're your friends. Your friends don't give a shit what you do. Your friends don't fucking care about what you do. You think they're going to care? They don't. They don't care. And that's okay. They don't have to care about this mental shit that I'm dealing with, right? Or that you're dealing with, or that you're listening to. But if you have transferred from Instagram to here, well then, yeah, that means you count, right? You want to listen. You have something you have to contribute. You have things to be a part of. On Instagram, no one cares. They're going to have haters. Like, what the fuck's he posting this shit about? It's stuff like that. So once in a while I'll post, but just to let them know that we still have the channel. But a lot of the stuff that I'm going to post talking about episodes and content and, blogs that I still have that, I've never really published. And we'll just be here. So come back to YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, and on our podcast, make sure you guys give us a 5-star review because it's very important for the algorithm. And just be nice about it, will you? All right. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much. See you next week. This Pete from No Podcast, episode 144.